proud to welcome in Dr. Alec Thomson, political science professor and foundation board member, Dr. Colleen Pilgrim, faculty member here at Schoolcraft, Errin Stegich-Moloney, faculty and director of Center for Experiential Learning, and Sophia Mark, a former student and foundation scholar, a student now at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. Welcome in. We're glad you could all talk to us today. We're going to start with you, Dr. Thomson. Talk a little bit about the programs here in terms of the liberal arts. I understand in 2025 and 2026, 46% of the enrolled Schoolcraft College students were pursuing degrees in liberal arts, sciences, general studies, humanities. That's really the bulk of the students.
Yeah, that's one of our largest contingents we have here, students in cohort that comes through. We tend to think of usually program-specific outcomes, but lots of our students are starting their college experience or returning back here. And they started on our social sciences and humanities, and they're looking either to transfer or complete out a certificate program. You mentioned that 9,000 number, we extend that out to people that are non-degree seeking as well, and you double that number when you think about another 20,000 people taking classes
that come to the campus, come through the campus.
Right.
And, for just a quick second too, I want to talk about how students can come here. If college seems a little out of reach for you, you can come here because of the great relationship Schoolcraft has with colleges and universities, not only around the state, but around the country, that you can come here, get some of your requirements out of the way, and then move on to a university if that's what you desire.
Yeah, we work very hard and very deliberately to make sure that the courses and credits we're working on are transferable and acceptable. We have the work in the Michigan Transfer Agreement, and we work in all of our courses, our core courses, to make sure those are there so students have a pathway forward to do that. And we also try to work students in so they can sort out, have experiences to figure out what they want to do. And we want to make sure that they're building on that. Both my colleagues here, Colleen and Errin, are heading up a lot of our efforts to do experiential learning. And we had it earlier, I know we had Dr. Red Lovely on and Dino Savaggio talking about that too. So we try to incorporate that in humanities, which is not what everyone usually thinks of in terms of being engaged.
Okay, music to a parent's ear though, because a lot of times people, a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old thinks, oh, I want to be this. But once they get into it and they're not sure, so why not, cut your teeth here and see where you're a good fit and get some good direction on that for your lifelong career. Dr. Colleen Pilgrim, faculty member, 90% of the students are required to have humanity credits, so they're going to come through your area.
They do. So we're teaching to a breadth of students. And I'll speak to, they're coming in 18, 19. We also have returning students as well. But we give them more than just the classroom. My colleague, Dr. Thomson, just mentioned the transfer agreement and getting students ready to transfer a certificate, but we expose them to outside the classroom as well. And one of the things we've been doing on this campus is an international institute that's been going on for 2 decades, and students have exposure to global issues. We bring speakers to campus. In fact, we're having another speaker this fall, Tessa Hulse, who is a Pulitzer Prize winning author for her memoir, Feeding Ghosts. And so she'll be here on campus in September. Our students will be exposed to that, maybe something that they haven't even thought of before. So it's those outside activities. We've got student clubs. And I know my colleague Errin will talk more about that Center for Experiential Learning, more what we do.
Yeah, Errin Stegich-Moloney is the faculty and director of the Center for Experiential Learning. Leo Savaggio was telling me before, well, actually, he wasn't telling me, Dr. Rob was telling me this, because I don't think, blowing his own horn. But Leo will take students down to Eastern Market to see where, the food is coming in off the trucks and what that looks like. And so that part, you don't get that just everywhere.
No, and that's what makes Schoolcraft College really unique, is that we have a lot of these really strong community partnerships, especially with Nino's being on our campus. And part of our goal in the Department of Center for Experiential Learning is to give students access to these high impact learning practices, like going down to Eastern Market with Nino's, doing behind the scenes work in partnership with them, but also the Center for Experiential Learning is not just for students who are looking to study supply chain management or business or accounting, but to also focus student studies on the humanities, which is a field that, nowadays needs a little bit of support. So that's part of our effort.
Yeah, and you look at what's happening in the world around you, and you realize that that's where, maybe we need to bring our students in and give them a little experience in this area of the humanities,
Right.
so that they, frankly, it's a way to understand the world.
Right, it's foundational to understanding the human experience, right? Humanities is studying humanity. So what we do in our department is we bring out programs, we give endorsements. Dr. Thomson is launching our new John J. Walsh Civic Engagement Institute to have more political discourse on campus and to promote engagement and activism. Dr. Pilgrim runs our International Institute and does wonderful work in trying to bring culture and understanding of the world to our campus. So we're very lucky to have some great colleagues here.
As a broadcaster and a journalist, I kind of think of ourselves as that we try to help people understand the world around them. We may not always like it, we may not always agree with it, but it is the world around us, and it's always good to know, to understand who people are and how they operate. And that's just, and you're right, that is a part of our culture right now that maybe could use a little spit.
A little boost, yes.
A little bit of work. Sophia Mark is joining us. She's a former student and foundation scholar, a student at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. And when we talk about these students who come and have a college experience first, a community college experience first, kind of test out, okay, what do I want to do with my life? You're one of those people.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experience.
Absolutely. Well, when I first started at Schoolcraft, I originally thought that I wanted to go into finance. So I took some math classes, kind of experimented a little bit, and it was actually my academic advisor who told me, if you really, really love math and you're actually kind of good at it, I would really advise you head into something more STEM oriented. So he kind of pushed me in the direction of engineering, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and now I'm going to be starting in the fall at the College of Engineering at U of M.
And tell our listeners, though, what is your ultimate goal?
I would like to work at NASA as an engineer. It's my goal. I've always loved space. I've loved the stars. So it's my goal to help humanities exploration of space.
So when you walked in as a student here at Schoolcraft College, that maybe, you always knew you loved that, but you didn't really know how to get there.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't know the steps to get there.
Exactly. It was always in the back of my mind, but I never really thought that it was possible for me. I was very, very thankful to have such a great support system here that was able to point me in several different directions and eventually bring me to engineering and point me to U of M through the Transfer Bridges program and push me in a direction that's going to be successful for my career.
Dr. Thomson, that's got to be you must really love hearing this, because this is just the kind of experience you want for your students, isn't it? That they come in, maybe they're a little unsure, maybe they're a little timid. Again, for the younger students who maybe have still a lot of parental support, this is probably music to the ears of parents who are thinking, great, you're going to help my kid kind of get an idea of where they want to go before we have to send them there.
Yeah, at multiple levels. I also sit on the foundation board here, so
Yeah.
seeing Sophia come here, right? So we're able to link students with their dreams, their opportunity to do this, and so support not only the exposing them to something they didn't have maybe a thought of doing before, and watching the trajectory and seeing the enthusiasm. So fantastic all the way across the board.
Dr. Alec Thomson, a political science professor, foundation board member, thanks for all you do here, especially for bringing, a lot of the speaker series in. That's going to be great for your students here. Dr. Colleen Pilgrim, faculty member. Errin Stegich-Moloney, director of faculty and a director of Center for Experiential Learning. And Sophia Mark. Congratulations, Sophia. Nothing but the best to you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back here on WJR.